Howdy folks, it's NightDagger again. I'm back with another Minecraft tutorial. This one is going to be on basic redstone circuitry and the application thereof. I'm going to show you a few basic electronic components that you can build in Minecraft and a couple of practical things that you can do with them. We'll start out with the AND gate here. You've seen me use these before for my Canon video. Basically it's 3 stone blocks, torch on top of each of the outer blocks, redstone lead between them, output torch here. Idea behind this is if A and B, then C. That door will not open until both of these switches are flipped. If one or the other is not flipped, that door does nothing. This is an OR gate. If A or B, then C. It's a single block with 2 input leads coming from either side, meeting in the middle, and then a single output lead. If either or both of these switches are flipped, that door opens. This is a more compact version of power inverters that I've used in the past. This is basically 2 inverters strung together in a small compact form. This is also known as a NOTNOT gate. I call it a diode for a reason I'll explain in a few minutes. I don't particularly like using these because that torch on the top, if there's something over top it, it'll power it. In complex circuits that could lead to undesirable effects, so I personally prefer the other style. But if you're working in a very small space, this can save you a little bit of room. The reason I call it a diode is that it serves that same purpose that it does in an electronic circuit. Power will only go through this one way. It will not backflow. Put a torch here. The power goes the whole way through to the other side. Put a torch here. Power's blocked. If you need a one-way circuit, this is the way to do it. I'll show you where I use that for one of my devices in a little bit. This is a memory cell. The basic memory cell itself is just this block and this block. There's a torch there and a torch there and a lead that comes and connects the 2 blocks. These remember when you do something to them. Right now, this memory cell is off. Think of this like RAM in a computer. This is 1 bit of RAM, 1 or 0. Right now it's a 0. Input leads come up here. One important thing about input leads, never connect them right next to a block. If you connect it right next to a block, it thinks that it's going from this block to this block and not connecting to that, so it messes up the circuit. Always make sure that your connections are at least 1 block away. We have 2 inputs here. This is the input to set the memory cell to on. This is the one to set it to off. The door out there is controlled by the memory cell. Push that button, the door opens. Memory cell has switched to on. It remembers that it's on. Doesn't matter how many times you push this button, nothing is going to change until you give it an input from the other side. Then it shuts off. This is a really good way to have a system remember when a button's been pressed, to remember when a tripwire is hit, something like that. This is a 5 clock. This is 5 inverters strung together in an infinite loop. This is a way to get a constant pulse of on-off, kind of like an alternating current. Cycle for this is about 1 every half second. By providing a constant power lead to one of the loop leads, you can keep the power turned off until you're ready to use it. By flipping this off, it's now cycling about 1 every half second or so. Flip this, shuts the circuit back off. This is a very reliable circuit. It'll give you that constant pulse for as long as you have the power to it enabled. It will not burn out. So if you need a flicker effect and you don't particularly care about the speed of the flicker effect, this is a really good, reliable way to use it. This is a 3 clock. Basically, it's a smaller version of the 5 clock, only 3 blocks in an infinite loop instead of 5. This pulses a lot faster, but it is a lot more unstable. This will burn itself out and reactivate itself at random when the power is enabled. You can see it's running a lot faster, but it just burned itself out. Left to its own devices, it will eventually restart, pulse for, oh, there we go. Pulse for a little bit, and then burn out again. If you need to introduce some randomness to a circuit for something, this is a good way to do it. It's also very annoying. Let's turn it off. This is a rapid pulse oscillator. I call it a 4 clock because 4 torches. It's 2 blocks, torches on opposite sides, redstone leads connecting the 2 torches on that side, the 2 torches on that side, the center block's there, and then these torches. Output leads coming from all of the torches leading in the doors to demonstrate what the clock does. As I've noted, this is very annoying. This is a very high-speed oscillator. Now notice the individual torches are burning out. The doors are flickering in a pattern. If you want to route that pulse to a single output, you're going to have to run leads from all 4 of these outputs into a single central output, and you're going to have to use diodes to keep the power from flowing back, because if this flickers on, comes up here to the central lead, and then backflows to here, it's going to mess up the clock and shut it down. So that's a good reason to use a diode. Mostly I use these as noisemakers. You'll see that in a little bit. Now on to practical applications. First, we're going to show you practical application of the 5 clock to do Christmas lights. The dirt that's here is completely unnecessary. I only put it there to show you how easy it is to conceal this underneath the dirt. This is driven by a 5 clock over here, single output lead. If you remember from my Canon tutorial video, any sort of vertical string of torches, you can only power every other one. You have to alternate it or it doesn't work right. So every other one is controlled here. Lead comes around the side, goes through a NOT gate here to invert the signal, and then connects to the other ones on this side. That causes these to flicker alternately, powering the blocks above them, which causes these to flicker alternately. Kind of a cool effect for roller coasters or to decorate your Minecraft house for Christmas. You've already decorated your house, might as well decorate your Minecraft house. Last application I'm going to show you is a little bit more advanced. This one is a combination of an oscillator, a memory cell, and an AND gate to produce a proximity alarm for your house. 2 controls and an alarm light. When the alarm is triggered, this light will turn on. This resets the alarm. This controls whether or not it's armed or not. So, let's say you're coming home from a hard day at the mine. Don't want to be bothered. Notice here that you can't see that pressure plate unless you're looking right at it. It's a good way to conceal pressure plates so that you can't see them in PvP. Monsters won't care. A player who sees a pressure plate is going to know something's going on. They're going to jump over it. But you walk in here, close your door, to turn on the alarm, hit the reset button, hit the switch, and now you can enjoy a nice peaceful night without having to worry about anything. But let's say Mr. Creeper's coming to visit. Mr. Creeper gets on your bridge here. He walks up to your house, and he comes to knock at your door. Something has triggered the alarm. That light is now lit. There's a pulse oscillator going absolutely berserk down there, making a lot of noise. You know something's going on now. In order to shut that alarm off, push the reset button, turn off the alarm, go see what's causing the ruckus. So, let's see what makes this tick. This is the heart of this alarm. It's a single memory cell. Natural state is the off position. This lead comes down from that trip plate, connects to this side of the memory cell, which will turn it on when it's triggered. That memory cell will remember it's on, comes over here to an AND gate. The other side of the AND gate is connected to that switch, so unless that switch is on, and that memory cell is on from that tripwire being hit, this will not turn on. When this is turned on, it comes over here, goes through an inverter to flip the signal. This lead comes up here and connects to that torch on the other side. Power's on, torch is off. Then runs through a power extender here to an oscillator. The reason I'm using this is because if this oscillator isn't here, remember that this functions as a diode. It keeps power from flowing backwards. If that wasn't there, when this oscillator is flickering, it's going to backfeed power through this line, and it's going to make that torch flicker on and off too. It's really annoying to watch. So you get a nice constant burning light. Take this out, you get a rapid flickering light, or depending on your frame rate, possibly nothing at all. So that's why the diode's there. This side, oh, nope, this side, right here is the reset button. It's a single lead that comes down through here, runs through a power extender, over to here and to this side of the memory cell, which allows you to reset the cell. So we come up here, we turn the alarm on. Power is now coming down through this side and giving a positive input to this side of the AND gate. When that tripwire is hit, this power is turned on, this memory cell is turned on. It now remembers it's on. This side of the AND gate is triggered. You get a positive feed from here. This power shuts off, that torch goes on. This power shuts off, this goes berserk. To clear it, come up here, push this button, turns this lead on, feeds power through here, hits this side, flips it back to off like it is right now, and shuts the alarm off. And there you have it. Burglar alarm for your house. Other applications could be to have a door that locks itself and refuses to open if that alarm has been activated. Bridge traps, put some TNT under here and have that triggered. That way you can control whether it's on or off. You won't have to worry about setting your trap off when you're coming home for the night, anything like that. Bunch of other applications you can put towards it too. That's about it for this video. As an extra little bonus, I am going to include the save file for this video in the video description. That way you guys can download my world file, play it in your own Minecraft game, take a look at the stuff that I've built, play around with my cannons, disassemble the stuff, figure out what makes it tick, maybe come up with some ideas for your own world. I may do some more advanced videos later, but be quite honest, the more advanced circuits like the XORs and the NANDs and stuff like that, I haven't found a real practical application for them yet. I can't see doing a video for it until I figure out something that, is actually fun to use it for. So, that might come in the future. For now, Night Dagger signing off.